Hey everybody, it's me, Boju, back with another weapon review. I'm on the fifth one already. So today I feel like I wanted to cover a spear, and there was one spear that's been on my radar for a while, because it's gained a lot of popularity lately because of a certain buff it got, and that spear is Hero. So without further ado, let's get into it. So first off, looking at hero stats, you can see it's the air mythic for warrior, obviously. And it's got quite a bit of walk speed, main attack damage, and health regen. But out of those stats, I feel like none of them are really relevant. Hero doesn't really have that many stats that are relevant to it as a weapon, because even though the main attack damage is quite significant, realistically you're not going to use hero for melee hero. Or if you are, you're kind of missing its potential. So I feel like the most relevant stats it has is actually not role dependent. The agility, the dexterity, and the strength. They increase its damage quite a lot, as well as its survivability. Now onto its major ID, the thing that makes it extremely powerful and probably one of the best weapons in the game, maybe were it not a warrior mythic. So Savior's Sacrifice means that while under 50% of maximum health, nearby allies gain 50% bonus damage and defense, and that also applies to you, by the way. You also get 50% bonus damage and defense. So when I get to the meta section of the video, I kind of talk about how you can utilize that major ID. In the meta section of the video, as you already may know, I cover how the best ways to use the weapon, the best builds to use it in, such as that. So first I want to talk about Rage Hero, because obviously that's the thing you guys probably want me to talk about, and it's the new hot topic for Hero. So since the major ID came out, there's been a strategy to powder Hero with Earth Powders, and then abuse the Rage Armor Special, which means that you do more damage the lower health you have. So having Earth Powders on Hero and then having Earth Powders on your armor and being at 50% health while, because of the major ID, makes it so that you do a ton of damage, probably the most realistic damage you can do as a warrior without sacrificing your defense too much. And by the way, because of the major ID, even if you're at 50% health, you'll have basically the same effective hit points as if you were at 100% health, because you take 50% less damage. So this is just going to be a quick part where I actually talk about how Hero feels to play. Hero, since it's so insanely tanky while also having good damage, I find myself just being able to stand next to the mob and kind of just spam it with uppercuts and bashes like I'm doing right now. Because even if you get hit, it doesn't really matter. Not only won't you take much damage because of how tanky it is, but it's also good to make sure you stay actually below the 50% health threshold. Especially because mobs have CCI now. Warrior benefits a ton from CCI. You can really just sit next to the mob and just spam bash and uppercut. Hero also works really well for raids because of this, especially the Canyon Colossus, because you can just sit next to the hitboxes and keep spamming. Basically, Hero does well for anything with CCI. That's kind of what I'm trying to say here. To conclude, I think Hero is definitely the best warrior mythic at the moment, just solely because of its major ID. I think it's pretty well comparable to Weathered, also not only just in the sense that they're both air mythics, but that they are both really powerful currently in the meta, and solely because of their major ID that at first seems that it's only useful for defensive and survivability reasons, but also both have very good uses in offense as well, just looking outside the box. Either with just Weathered being able to be way more aggressive than any other assassin weapon, or Hero, well, in a similar way, be able to be slightly more aggressive than any other warrior weapon, as well as do extra damage with Rage Abuse. Hero is a very fun weapon, and also a very strong weapon. It's only being held slightly back by the fact that it is in fact a warrior mythic. If it were like an archer mythic or like, say, an assassin mythic, I think it would definitely be one of the, or basically the second best weapon in the game. But nonetheless, still very good, very fun. It's not like bad at all. It's one of the best, in fact, still. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for watching. See ya. Make sure to, leave comments, subscribe, like, all that jazz. I do read all comments and I take into account viewer suggestions. This video, in fact, was a viewer suggestion. So yeah, That's about it. Thanks for watching.